seconds, man. Shout out to Crash and Burn, Oos. Thanks for tapping in with your boy, Oos.
Crash and Burn!
Wrestling Podcast. Tonight we're going to be going over Elimination Chamber 2010 and look back at the Undertaker's best moments. Let's bring everybody in. First up, we had Josh.
Yes, sir. It is I, the hate savior of professional wrestling entertainment worldwide, the massive throat-slitting master, the man behind many bodies and putting them in graveyards is the assassin, Josh Digger, the leader of the Assassin's Empire. And we're back with another episode on Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. As you can see, I'm repping the merch for the very first time on the podcast. Be sure to cop your Assassin swag on bonfire.com/store/Josh's Toy Show. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, Elimination Chamber 2010. This is one of the pay-per-views I grew up with. Definitely a blast from the past from my childhood, to be honest with you guys. So, yeah, let's get this started. I can't wait.
Last but not least, please welcome Nick.
Hey everybody, once again, welcome to another pretty spectacular edition of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, we are going to be reviewing a very recent pay-per-view. Yeah. This show featuring a classic Undertaker moment, Elimination Chamber 2010. Got some pretty interesting matches on there. Got some weird stuff on there as well. We're going to unpack all that as the episode goes on. So, yeah.
Yes.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, and before we start, if you guys do not know, me and my friends have a group called Wrestling is Everything by my wristband right here. If you guys
Are you wearing it well?
Yes. And as I was about to say, if you want to give us a follow on Instagram, it is at wrestling.iseverything. Or I might be mistaking it. It will be linked in the description, and there we have a Facebook group as well if you guys are on Facebook. So, yeah, definitely check us out. Wrestling is everything, guys. Let's go. Let's get this started.
All right. First up, we had the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. John Cena defeated Triple H, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, Ted DiBiase, and Randy Orton. I must say, that match was actually a really good way to start off the show.
Ted DiBiase, wow.
Yeah. Fun fact, I have the show playing on my TV right now as we were filming this, and so far it's going really good. Alright, Josh.
Yeah, I probably was like 8 years old at the time, but yeah, I like this match. John Cena was my favorite, as always. He's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. Yeah, John Cena was on top of his game in 2010. He was the champion at that point. So, yeah, it was a great match to start off the show. I mean, a lot of guys that you might hear are not in the company anymore, and you might ask where they've been and whatever. But yeah, it was a great match. Very much enjoyed it. So yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, this was a very, very good match. It was slowly paced, It was kind of hot and quick in the beginning, especially with Kofi Kingston being in there. But, Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase slowing it to a very gradual pace until John Cena eventually came in and freaking obliterated everyone. Had a lot of stories going into it, which were built upon and mentioned by the commentators, and I really appreciate, with the dissension going on between the legacy members, especially between Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes wanting to impress Randy Orton. You had the weird spider web of connections with Sheamus and Triple H and John Cena and Kofi Kingston, all of them have been having a little bit of a thing before all that went down. So, yeah, I liked all of those stories going in, and to have it all connecting to one giant affair was really interesting. And, seeing Ted DiBiase turn on Randy Orton was a very big moment as well, and that eventually led to that massive triple threat match at WrestleMania 26. And, of course, John Cena wins, lol. I think that was kind of expected, especially in the early 2010s. So, yeah, overall, really good match. Great story going into it. And, yeah, let's see what happens right after this.
Okay, next match we had Batista defeated John Cena. Well, back-to-back matches in the same night. All right, Josh,
Yeah, Yeah, if you're wondering why we had back-to-back matches, it was because I think Batista cashed in. I think he was Money in the Bank at the time.
No.
No,
No,
I don't.
that was a joke I made earlier in the group call, Josh. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah. No,
I
he
will.
didn't win Money in the Bank. I'm thinking like Vince was like, oh yeah, go take the championship.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Yeah, basically, for those of you who don't know, there was a storyline going on between Vince McMahon and Bret Hart that led to a so-so match at WrestleMania. But John Cena basically was supportive of Bret, and he's kind of been the thorn of Vince McMahon's side for a while. So Vince saw Cena winning. He's like, oh, hell no, I want to sell Roman Reigns Funko Pops before Roman Reigns even in this company. God damn it. So he
yeah.
was... And because Batista's been kind of feuding with Johnson before this, he's like, Batista, go out there and kick his ass or
Yeah, so
whatever.
Vince was like, Batista, go out there and win the championship. So yeah, Batista came out, Batista bomb, beat John Cena, 1, 2, 3. Batista became the champion. Then at WrestleMania 26, John Cena won it back. So it didn't make sense to put the title on Batista. But okay, fine, whatever. What a waste. What a waste. This is what I give it.
Yeah, that was...
All right. Nick, what are your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it didn't need to happen, really. I mean, yeah, it was kind of a sort of a callback to New Year's Revolution 2005 with Vince announcing... No, New Year's Revolution 2006 when Vince announced that Edge was cashing his Money in the Bank. Really, like, pretty much a spot-on sort of recreation of it, except Batista did not have Money in the Bank at all. It was just a cheap move. But yeah, it was a thing that happened. It didn't need to happen necessarily, but the feud they had afterwards was really good. I really enjoyed that, and the matches they had afterwards, especially that the Last Man Standing and the I Quit matches were also pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I guess something good came out of it, but it started off so it was so.
All right. This match to me was pretty solid. Congratulations to Batista, even though John Cena only had the title for a short amount of time that night.
Yeah.
All right. Next up we had Drew McIntyre defeated Kane. To retain the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, this when he was the Intercontinental Champion at that time.
Nick, you go first.
Yeah, this was back in Drew McIntyre's Chosen One run. And, it was going on an undefeated streak, going against guys like John Morrison and MVP, I think. No, not MVP, friggin' Matt Hardy, I think, at some point. Going against all these established names or whatever, and proving he is the Chosen One after all. And Kane was another step in that. And, they had a pretty decent affair, two big guys, going at it. This was before Kane's Embrace the Hate run. This was when he was kind of, sort of irrelevant in terms of the grand scheme of things. I mean, obviously, he'd have that run with the World Heavyweight Championship later in the year, and that would kind of get some air in his sails, except for that weird thing he had with the Undertaker and Nexus, whatever the hell that was. But yeah, this match was pretty decent, giving Drew McIntyre a decent challenge, showing that he isn't invincible, but still giving him the win, he had to cheat to win, thumb to the eye of Kane, and then the future shock DDT. So, kind of getting a little chink in his armor to show, yeah, he may be unstoppable, but, he might have some weaknesses, he may not. He might have something that can be exploited and that he can be beaten. So, yeah, overall, pretty decent big man match. And, yeah, hopefully, I hoped that things would be better for Drew, but we have to wait like a decade for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have to agree with you here. This was a pretty solid, decent match. Congratulations to Drew McIntyre. So that time he was the chosen one, and that was actually incredible that he defeated Kane, a big man like him. It shows that he's like a strong, tough dude.
Yeah.
All right, Josh.
Yeah, this was definitely a big match in Drew McIntyre's career from the start. I mean, Yeah, as Vince said, I mean, I liked Vince back then. Now, oh my God, don't get me started. But yeah, I liked Vince how he put a guy like Drew McIntyre, and I didn't like him at first. I didn't like Drew at first. I don't know why, but somehow he grew on me. Like later on in his career, I feel like when he gained more muscle nowadays, now he's the champion. If you didn't know that, but he when he gained more muscle, I kind of got into him more, and I realized he's one of the best wrestlers out there, and he's super chill. If you didn't know that, but yeah, it was a big win for his career, and he was on top of his game as Intercontinental Champion. But yeah, it was a good match. Definitely for a big, like Jason said, definitely for like a big guy like Kane, and that's actually something to be proud of. So yeah, good for him for defeating
It's an
Kane.
accomplishment. Yeah. Anyways, next match we had Lay Cool, which is Layla and Michelle McCool, which is the Undertaker's wife,
Yep.
defeated Gail Kim and Maurice.
Oh
Josh.
yeah, this is when Gail Kim was in WWE. Yeah, I remember that team. Lay Cool, man. I mean, as much as I love both Michelle McCool and Layla, and as much as annoying they were, it was boring. It was one of the matches that kind of slowed it down. But you know, it's Gail Kim and Maurice. I mean, who? I mean, like, what kind of team is that? But yeah, Lay Cool was the tag team during that year. Like, they were the top women's tag team. What I liked about Lay Cool, to be honest, is like when they were women's champions, they split the titles in half. Kind of like, when you get a charm necklace for your best friend, you have a half and your best friend has a half. So that's what they did. I loved how that was great. But yeah, solid
TF.
match. It was decent. It existed.
Yeah. Nick.
Yeah, of course, the segment leading into this, Maurice is trying to get all friendly with Gail Kim, like, hey, girl, I'm going to talk French to you, and we're going to be friendly, and Gail Kim basically just said no. And originally, this was supposed to be Gail Kim versus God, I forgot her name. God damn it, Maurice. It was supposed to be Gail Kim versus Maurice in the finals of the Divas Championship tournament, and then all of a sudden, ooh, drama, friggin' Raw women are friggin' talking trash about the SmackDown women, so we're gonna have a tag team match playa, except it's Vicky Guerrero, and she never said that line, unfortunately. So that was just what? Like, it's one thing to change a literal title match into an impromptu tag match on a pay-per-view. It's another thing to do it based off things that didn't happen on screen. So, yeah, that pissed me off a little bit. And then Maurice was a D and just friggin' cost Gail Kim the match. Like, why? Why would you willingly lose? It kind of showed how terribly WWE was booking Gail Kim. Like, she was such a talented wrestler, and they just had no idea what to do with her. Her TNA Impact runs were awesome, and her matches in there were awesome as well. Yeah. So to see her having those types of matches were insulting, really. So, yeah, overall, worst match of the night, without a doubt.
Yeah. Actually, this match was pretty decent. To me, it wasn't anything too special to me. It was just a match that existed to me. I have not watched this pay per view back then, so that's why I pretty much have this on now. Anyways, The Miz defeated MVP.
Oh, yeah, they were in a feud at that time, I believe, like a short little mini feud.
And this match was also a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. MVP was still in his prime that time, but now he's better off as being the leader of the Hurt Business.
He's not wrestling much nowadays.
Yeah, Josh, you go.
Yeah, this is when MVP was in his prime. Definitely, I loved MVP growing up. He was definitely one of my favorites from my childhood. I mean, I missed 2010, 2009 so much. That was like the best era for WWE, in my opinion. I mean, 2009 was also good too, 2008, all the Ruthless Aggression eras. But yeah, it was a solid mini feud between these two. It's a match that existed, and yeah, it existed.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, this was definitely a feud that actually was kind of big, I'd say, back and around that time. It was pretty over, going on for months. And you know what? I could have seen it definitely going to Mania, but, they kind of stopped at Elimination Chamber. Like, these two were, like, feuding even back in the Royal Rumble. Like, there was a whole big thing surrounding that as well. So it happened just on Elimination Chamber, and impromptu at that was... Yeah, it was a little disappointing. However, the match itself was pretty good. Saw Miz bleed, which is something you almost never see. That was unintentional. And, like, the final moments of that match were absolutely insane. Miz busting himself open with a headbutt. Then Mark Henry getting tossed to a freaking barricade. And and then, of course, it ended with Big Show just being an ass and punching MVP in the face.
Yeah,
cheap
knocked
heel
out.
tactics. Yeah, WMD and Miz and retaining the title. Like I said, I could have seen this going to Mania, but, they put on Elimination Chamber and they still had a pretty solid match. This was definitely, I think this was the last year that MVP was in the company before he left and went to New Japan or something. I don't know. But, yeah, it was a pretty good encounter. It wasn't the best match of the night. I'd say it probably was better than Drew McIntyre versus The Miz, even though it was an impromptu match. But, yeah, it definitely wasn't the best match of the night. Still a really good, solid effort, and you could definitely see Miz's character forming around this time.
Yeah, it was just main event time. Chris Jericho defeated The Undertaker, John Morrison, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk.
Whoa.
And of course, the reason why we chose this pay because this is one of them that The Undertaker competed in. Plus, we're technically celebrating his 30 years on this episode, specifically. I must say, this match is actually my favorite match of the night. Congratulations to Chris Jericho, who's now in AEW as the Demo God and Le Champion. Yeah, I pretty much enjoyed this match. Nick.
Right.
Yeah, this was. I definitely agree with you on that. This was definitely the match of the night. Which is what the main event should be. Undertaker gave a great performance, and I got to commend him for that. Not just for the great performance, but he gave a great performance with third-degree burns. If you did not know, if you did not see, Undertaker had a little pyrotechnic incident before the match where the pyrotechnics accidentally set him on fire. He stepped onto one of the things, and the tech guy was like, I don't know, friggin' doing whatever else, and he ended up getting lit up. And if you watch the entrance, you could see him jogging down to the ring because he just got set on friggin' fire. And had to pour water bottles onto his friggin' skin because he was burnt. So, for him to even continue after that is insane on its own. Goes to show how dedicated of a performer he is. But besides that match was really good, very fast-paced, definitely in contrast to the other Elimination Chamber. Had guys like Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, R-Truth, John Morrison, so you were bound to have a very fast-paced match. And, it felt like a different match from the Raw Elimination Chamber, and that's good to see. It's good to see some diversity into, say, match types. And, of course, it ended in a very shocking conclusion with Shawn Michaels hiding under the chamber itself and coming out and super kicking Undertaker to cost him the World Heavyweight Championship, which was a great move for WWE to do to build up that story. Shawn Michaels was like, well, if I can't win the Rumble, if I can't challenge for the title, then I might as well take the title away from you. So that way you'll fight me. You'll finally give me that match I want. So really, really well done, that match, and the conclusion was excellent, and having Chris Jericho as champion was really, really good. Unfortunately, the match that he had with Edge didn't really live up. The match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, however. Yeah, so overall, really great match, and putting an exclamation point on an excellent show.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, I remember watching this match back then when the pay-per-view existed. I mean, it still exists, but when it existed.
Just
But
one invisible.
but yeah, I remember how like that screw over with Michaels and Taker. Yeah, Nick, I didn't even know about that with Taker with the pyrotechnics. When
Yeah.
they almost killed him.
Yeah, pretty much. Oopsies.
I just
But,
wanted
like-
I was kidding, god damn it. We made it to a storyline, god damn it. What's this freaking pyrotechnic? I'll kill him. Gotta kill him.
But yeah,
Fuck.
I remember that crossover, and I was not expecting Chris Jericho to win. But I mean, you had R-Truth and John Morrison. It's like, no.
What are these jobbers? God damn it. Why is everything going wrong?
Wasn't Rey Mysterio in the match? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, if they could have picked Rey Mysterio to win, but he won at the worst pay-per-view of all time, Fatal 4-Way. But overall, that match was the biggest match of the night. But that was like Shawn Michaels' last match with the Undertaker, and kind of like the last time you saw those two face each other. But I enjoyed Undertaker as the World Heavyweight Champion at that time. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
was
had a
a-
good reign.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was his last reign as World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh.
Yeah, or any championship actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's time to take a look back at his great moments of the Dead Man.
Yeah.
So, Josh, what's your favorite Undertaker moment of all time? Or run down your best moments from him.
Best moments of the Undertaker, definitely 2010 Royal Rumble, the match him and Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship. I remember just sitting there in my seat as a little assassin, and I remember just being amazed by what the Undertaker can do. And for a little guy like Rey Mysterio, you know, Rey Mysterio is great, but yeah, Rey Mysterio is one of the best luchadors / wrestlers of all time. He's definitely one of my heroes, and I love everything Rey Mysterio does. But the Undertaker just takes his entrance, his character, his persona to another level. Definitely another Undertaker moment. I love his matches with Shawn Michaels. Those are two of my favorites, both WrestleMania 25 and 26. Definitely the matches he had with Triple H at 27 and 28. All his WrestleMania moments are basically my favorite. Like, except for like that one with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. But I mean, it was kind of like time. You know what I'm saying? That it was. But yeah, those are just some of my favorite Undertaker moments. There's plenty more to choose, but I won't go on a full 20-minute list. But
Go on an assassin rant on Undertaker moments.
no. The Undertaker doesn't want to make me rant. He's done some great things for his career. So yeah, shout out to the Undertaker. Enjoy your retirement, 30 years. Thank you so much. You are the greatest of all time. Thank you,
And
Undertaker.
how about your matches?
Favorite matches? WrestleMania 25 and 26. Him versus HBK. Two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Definitely him and Rey Mysterio at the Royal Rumble 2010. Him and CM Punk, Hell in a Cell 2009 for the world title. Him and CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. And him and Triple H, WrestleMania 27 and 28. Basically, all his WrestleMania matches were my favorite.
Except for Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah. Because all I loved was to see Undertaker WrestleMania. That made my night. So, pretty much all his WrestleMania matches were my favorite.
Yeah. Nick, you're up next.
Yeah. In terms of moments, I'd say probably a moment that I at least sort of watched live was his match. Well, I guess match then was against Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell. That was insane. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was like kind of like the first time I truly watched The Undertaker. That was a absolutely insane experience for me to watch. Another favorite was his graveyard match against AJ Styles. That was a definite
Yeah.
highlight.
I love that match.
Yeah. In terms of moments, I'd say one moment that I really enjoyed was, I said this on the, I'm pretty sure I said this already on the Question Burn Wrestling podcast, but the moment I really enjoyed was his return to the Dead Man gimmick at WrestleMania 20, 2004,
Yeah.
with his match against Kane.
That was good.
That was really good. And you know what? I'm gonna say just final farewell. Definitely a favorite moment, without a doubt.
Exactly.
Yeah, one thing that I actually forgot to mention, I really had this in my head. The Undertaker's match with Shane McMahon was great, but who remembers the match the Undertaker had with the one and only, the greatest wrestler that someone loves, Roman Reigns?
I remember that one.
And that happens to be our member Ryleigh.
Yeah, that match.
Oh,
was
it's Kyle.
Oh.
Shit. The big hard frick. I'll get you out of here.
Doomsday's coming, god damn it! The Grim Reaper's coming for me! He found me! No! I'm sorry I did all that! I'm sorry I didn't save those orphans! I'm sorry! No! I could have got so much more! I'm sorry!
That's right. I found you, Nicholas.
No.
No, I swear I'm sorry for all what I did to Stephanie. I'm sorry I tried to sacrifice her to the Undertaker.
Prepare for an eternity of horrible pain.
Anyways, in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Grim Reaper character.
You called me Jason Snowmotor Reaper.
Anyways, we were just talking about the Undertaker's best moments.
Oh, Nicholas, you look like you're about to shit your pants. Oh, does that mean you need to change your diaper again?
I can feel it dripping down. Oh.
Who's watching the Royal Rumble back there? God damn it! I'm trying to talk to the Grim Reaper.
Anyways, Nick, just keep going.
Before Grim Reaper takes my soul, there was some good shit. Undertaker, please bail me out of this, for God's sake. I know you know this guy, please.
But in all seriousness, yeah, Undertaker's once-in-a-lifetime talent, and he will be very much missed in the wrestling business. Yeah, thank you for all your time.
Yeah. Mr. Grim Reaper, sir. You go for it. Your favorite Undertaker moments and matches.
Well, first of all, thank you, Undertaker, for all the memories you've done for us over the years. Sacrificing your body and putting your life on the line just to entertain myself and all the little dead men and women out there. Like all the little phenoms out there. So thank you for everything. My favorite Taker match has to be the first ever Hell in a Cell match. Oh my god, what a fucking match. Like all the fire. What a battle that was. It was hell. Definitely. Oh my god. Undertaker definitely a once in a lifetime talent. There will never be another Undertaker. And also, Undertaker, thank you for inspiring the Grim Reaper from everything that I do. So, from my soul to your soul, thank you, Mr. Deadman. And may you rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
my favorite Undertaker moments, well, seeing him live, of course. He had a match with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, and facing Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Elias. That was a house show at Madison Square Garden, SummerSlam Heatwave tour. And again, Steve's entrance definitely had chills down my spine. Our good friend Steve was also there too, who's also a part-time member of the show. And no, we did not meet in person. So don't get that wrong. But after the match, he passed the torch to Roman Reigns, saying this is his yard now. And that definitely left some goosebumps down my spine. That was incredible.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and then of course his farewell. How can you not like that moment? It had tons of emotion to it.
Yes, but it was definitely a little underwhelming. What was the point of bringing all those fucking legends out there if all they were gonna do was just the entrance? And then during the video package for Undertaker's career, they just leave. So Mr. Out of Touch McMahon introduced Undertaker.
You listen here, Grim Reaper. Yeah, I know I'm friggin' screwed up and all that, but goddammit, I'm not paying to have these guys in here for friggin' 10 hours. I got paid the friggin' bonus in the Amway Center, goddammit. I got a friggin' same business. I guess Roman Reigns Funko Pops, for God's sake. I have a business to run, goddammit. I need a bunch of old men in my ring. Whoever loves old men in their friggin' ring. Totally not this guy. I totally wouldn't bring back legends 20 years out of their prime to go back into the ring and wrestle for the world champion. All right, Goldberg, is that you again? I need you to come over here. I need you to go.
Oh, speak of the devil. Now that you mention that, what about Goldberg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, who was retired for 8 fucking years, and you had to drag him out of retirement for that sweet Saudi Arabia money?
You know I love it, Saudi Arabia money. God damn it. Oh, it feels so good on my skin, even though I could totally get just regular money and rub it on my skin. But just Saudi Arabian. Oh my God, it feels so much better than Fox. God damn it.
Yeah. My favorite matches is definitely his WrestleMania 25 match and 26 and 27. All time, and of course the one I saw live in person. And yeah.
WrestleMania 28 was much better.
Yeah, true, Mr. Grim Reaper. You have a good.
Yeah, the so-called end of an era.
Yeah, I made you a lot of promises, but this is wrestling. God damn it, I can't keep all of them.
Silence.
No, God damn it. I'll tell Goldberg to go back into his burrow. God damn it, no.
No one provokes the Reaper.
What happened to Nick?
So Vince friggin' got yeeted out of here. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Anyway, I'm back. What did I miss?
We're about to get to our outros.
Ooh, very nice. Ooh.
Thank you all so much for watching this special episode of the Crash Burn Wrestling Podcast, where we dedicate this episode to the one and only The Undertaker.
Give it up for The Undertaker, ladies and gentlemen.
Hope you all enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss.
Look at this man. What a tribute. What a tribute.
Don't miss another episode of Crash and Burn, Tuck Your Chin, and Moshcast. Subscribe, of course. Follow. Do all that fun stuff. You already know the vibes, so yeah.
Gang, word up.
Passing it over to Josh.
Yes, it was another phenomenal episode of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Your favorite assassin appreciates every single one of you leaders and members of the Assassin's Empire. Well, there's only one leader, and that's me. Ha, just kidding. But comment down below your favorite Undertaker match and moments from his career. Follow us on Instagram at Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, even though we don't use the Twitter as much.
Well, I'm more active on there.
But But yeah, definitely check us out on social media. Definitely give the Wrestling is Everything group that I promoted in the very beginning of this episode a follow on Instagram, and join the Facebook group if you are a wrestling fan. You're one of us. If you love wrestling, wrestling's everything. If you know what I mean. So yeah, give us a follow. Be sure to pick up the Grim Reapers merch and the Assassins merch on bonfire.com. Otherwise, we will slit your throats, and make sure you buy it. Because as Slipknot says, we slit the throats and fuck the wound. So, make sure you buy the damn merch. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. But, I'm going to pass the torch to the Grim Reaper.
No. Wait. He goes last. Nick.
Oh, he goes last. Oh, I'll pass it to Nick.
Yes. I win.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching another very special edition of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to Tuck Your Chin Podcast YouTube channel, as well as the Moshcast. Subscribe to Scoops Out Loud Wrestling Podcast, where me and my dad co-host and interview a bunch of wrestlers and whatever. Yeah, make sure you follow all these wonderful people on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you join the Wrestling's Everything group that Josh has promoted. Make sure you buy the merch from Josh and Grim Reaper. Yeah, hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Also, please comment down below whatever your favorite Undertaker moment or match is, as well as your favorite moment of Vince McMahon needlessly sticking old men into a ring. Comment that down below as well. And yeah, hope everybody stays safe, wear a mask, stay healthy, have a happy Christmas, holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I'm losing my damn mind.
Have a blessed day.
Yes, have the blessed of day. If.
Yeah. Mr. Grim Reaper, sir.
It's your turn.
End it off.
Well, thank you. I hope all my little Reapers enjoyed this very special episode of the Crash Burns Podcast that we dedicate to the incredible career of The Undertaker. As always, you can subscribe to our channel and be sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload for future episodes of this incredible podcast. As always, follow me and everybody on social media, links down below. Be sure to pick up your official The Grim Reaper and the Assassin merch on our stores on bonfire.com. Please buy it, or else we will welcome you to your final resting place in the gates of Hades. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for future episodes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Sleep well, and keep crashing and burning.
Keep on moshing and tucking your chin.
Bye.
Alright. Bye-bye, everybody.
Sleep well.
Crash and burn!